Hey, everybody. This is Peter Hafner, certified financial planner and certified financial fiduciary. And today I wanted to talk to you about the new math. And I don't mean the new math that your kids are complaining about, that your grandchildren are having trouble with. I want to talk to you about the retirement math that no one ever told you about because it's incredibly important. You need to understand the retirement math because if you don't understand the retirement math, it could completely sabotage a happy and comfortable retirement. And that is the last thing we want for you, for me, or for anyone else. So, what am I talking about? Well, let's take a look at a simple equation. What if I told you minus 30% plus 43% equaled 100%? What would you think about that? Does that make any sense at all? No, no, it doesn't. If you remember your high school math, minus 30 is the same as subtracting 30, right? So if you subtract 30 from 43, what's that going to leave you? It's going to leave you 13, not 100%. And this is why investing during retirement is so complicated and so dangerous because so few people understand just how different things are once you stop working, once you leave the accumulation phase of investing where you're saving money all the time, and you switch to the distribution phase where you're taking money out of your investments. It is wildly, wildly different. And if you're working with a financial advisor, not only do you want to make sure they're a certified financial fiduciary, but you definitely want to make sure that they have a focus on retirement income planning. You want to make sure they really understand these concepts and principles because even professionals, financial professionals, can make mistakes that can sabotage your retirement. So let me elaborate a little bit on this. Minus 30 plus 43% equals 100%. It absolutely does. And I'm going to show you how and why. So let's say you started retirement with $1 million. Okay. And let's say the stock market's down like it was in 22, like it was in 20, like it is going to be in the future. The market's a cycle. It's going to be up and it's going to be down, and it's going to be up again and it's going to be down again. But what happens when the market's down? What if it's down 30%? My question for you is, if the market goes down 30%, how much of your $1 million do you have left? So if you lose 30% of $1 million, that's going to leave you $700,000. Make sense? Okay. Now, if you lose 30% and you're down to $700,000, you're going to want to get back to your million, right? You want the investments to go back up. So the target is to get back to a million and then higher. So my question for you is, if you go down 30%, will going up 30% get you back to your $1 million? If you lose 30%, will going up 30% get you back to even? And the answer is it won't. And do you know what the right answer is? Do you know how much you have to go up in order to get back to your $1 million? Well, take a look at our equation. You got to go up 43%. Okay. And the moral of the story, the principle you need to understand is whatever percent you lose, you need to gain even more to get back to where you were. And think about it, 30% of $1 million is $300,000. So if we take $300,000 away from a million, that's how you wind up with $700,000. Now, 30% of $700,000 is 210. If we add 210 to 700, we don't get to a million. That's how this works. That is the principle. That's one thing you need to understand here. You need to understand this principle. But let's make this more real. Let's think about you and your personal situation. We have no control over the financial markets. They're going to do what they're going to do. And you might be lucky, and when you retire, everything's going great and we're at the beginning of a good long bull market. But it could be the opposite, right? What if you would have retired? What if when you retire, the market's acting like it did in 2008 when the financial crisis started? Back then, stock market dropped 50%. If you lose 50% of your investment, how much do you have left? You got $500,000. Now, if you lose 50%, will going up 50% get you back to even, back to your million? You know it's not true. You know you need to gain more than the 50%. How much do you think you need to gain in order to get back to even if you lose half your money. Do you think 75% will get you there? 85, 95? No. If you lose half your money, you literally have to double your money. You're going to need 100% gain now to get you back to where you started. If you would have retired right at the beginning of the financial crisis, when the S&P 500 wound up being down over 50%, you could have potentially lost half your retirement nest egg, and now you've got to double your money just to get back to even. And how likely is that? It's terrible. It's really unlikely, right? It's one of those Apollo 13 moments where, what do they say? Failure is not an option. We can't have this happen. This can end your retirement. It literally can send you back to work if you wind up in this kind of situation. But this isn't the end of it. It's actually worse than this. Because when you retire, you got to think about, where is your income going to come from? You know, when you're working, if the market goes down 50%, like it did for us during the financial crisis, it wasn't fun, wasn't pleasant, but you know, it really wasn't life-changing either, right? The market was down, eventually it came back up and it went higher. Doesn't matter. But when you're retired, what's the difference? The difference is you need to take money out of your investments. So let's say you took out 5% the first year, and then you took out another 5% the year after. Now you're not down 50%. Now you're down 60%. Do you see how that works? And if you lose 60% of your $1 million, you're only going to have $400,000 left. So now, if you lose 60%, how much do you need to gain to get back to even? I want you to really think about this. I want you to write it down if you got a piece of paper. What is your best guess? If you lose 60% of your investments and you're down to $400,000, going up 100% isn't going to get you back to even. You know how much you got to go back up? It's 150%. If you want to get back to your $1 million after going down 60%, you got to go up 150%. And when is the last time you had 150% gain in your investment portfolio? You know, never. In a short period of time, right? Never. It doesn't happen. So the reason I'm showing you this is because investing is wildly different once we stop working and once we're taking distributions from our investments to create a cash flow that we can live on, so that we can do all the things and buy the things we want to do and have. Okay, it's wildly, wildly different. And it can be potentially life-changing if you don't understand how to manage your investments so that you can protect yourself from this sort of a situation. And once again, we just did a video recently on the big cycles of the market, the bull markets, the bear markets, the relationship between the two. Most of the time, the market's up, but for compressed periods of time, the market is down, and it can be down a lot. And if you start your retirement in one of these down times, or even if you've been in retirement for a while, and you hit one of these down times, and you have not sheltered your retirement income from stock market volatility, crashes, and bear markets, it could literally change your life in the most negative way. So I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found this useful. Please click the like and subscribe button. And thank you, all you new subscribers. And we try to put up new and interesting content at least once or twice a week. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. So long.